EcoFlow Trail is a compact, affordable, DC-only power station. It's designed to power small devices on the go like phones and laptops, and it's marketed directly at hikers and campers. Anywhere that you might have taken a portable power bank in the past, you can now take this guy and you have enough power for the whole gang. But is this little thing worth your money? That's what we wanted to find out. So welcome back to the lab where our opinions cannot be bought. EcoFlow recently released 3 versions of this brand new trail series. We're going to talk about mainly this one in today's video. They did release the smaller version of it, which is the 200. This is basically the exact same as this one. It just has a couple less ports and a smaller battery, smaller inverter.
It's a smaller unit for smaller tiny babies.
Yes. And they're also releasing a 300 plus version that says it's coming soon, has a light on the top, a couple extra features, but that one is not on the market yet. Anyways, we've put these two to the test as much as you can test a DC only power station. And we feel like we've got a pretty good grip on these and we are ready to share our opinions on them with you guys. As always, we have links and any coupon codes that we can get you guys towards this unit in the description down below. But before we jump into our experience with the new trail series, we're gonna hit you with a super quick spec teardown to get you guys up to speed with the all new EcoFlow Trail 300. So first up, this thing weighs about 6 pounds, the size of a healthy largemouth bass. Tiny Baby claims he can kick this thing from here to Hong Kong.
Probably from here to Pluto, dude.
It has a 288 watt-hour battery, which in our testing, this unit would be able to charge an iPhone 16 Pro Max about 15 times, which is actually pretty good. In terms of ports on this guy, you have 2 USB-A's in the middle, 2 USB-C's on the side. These are 2-way 140 watt USB-C chargers. And you also have a solar input right here, as well as a 12-volt car socket on the bottom.
Which you absolutely just love.
I stuff my... But that's it. There is no more ports or plugs on this guy at all. It's a very simple design. I actually really like this little handle. It tucks away really nicely. It's really easy to just pick this thing up and walk around with it. And the design overall is really simple. There's not a whole lot going on. It's honestly pretty good. The screen is a classic EcoFlow screen, although it's much smaller. It shows you exactly what you need to know, your input, output, and your remaining time left on your battery. Both of the 300 and the 200 units that we have don't actually connect to EcoFlow's app, which is a little bit annoying, but not the biggest deal. When it comes to powering this guy up, you can actually charge it through one of the 2 USB-C outlets. It also came with a 12-volt car socket, so instead of a solar panel right here, you could plug in the 12-volt car socket into whatever and run that into this port. You can also plug a solar panel into it. I believe it has a 110 watt max for solar. And in terms of price, right now, you can get this thing for $151 with our discount code. And the 200 is slightly less. Jumping into one of our favorite features about this power station is it is tiny and idiot proof. Like there's no way to mess this up. It's not easy to mess up a power station in general, but this one, when you turn it on, all of the USBs turn on with it. The button right here is only for the 12-volt car socket, which is still hard to get out. We also like that if you don't want to spend as much money on this guy, there is the smaller version. It has a few less ports. It has 2 USB-A's, 2 USB-C's. One of them is limited to 100 watts. No 12-volt car socket, and it's a smaller unit. Like if you look at them side by side, it is a little bit smaller. It weighs a little bit less. But we do like that they give you options with this. Most power stations is just one and done. So the fact that there's like a few different options for this guy is actually pretty cool. It's widowy dank. And we also just like the overall design. Like the Anker C300 had a carrying strap that was supposed to go over your shoulder when it was first released. That was cool, but it was kind of gimmicky. This is actually like nice and useful. Like you can grab this thing and walk around with it. It swivels on the handle really nice. It's a really good design. Overall, we were actually just really happy with the layout of this unit. And speaking of how it looks, they have some weird claim on their website. It has 5 layers of resistance against being dropped or whatever they say. In their marketing video, they show someone trying to hand it to someone else. They throw it to them. They miss the catch, it fumbles and hits the ground. It hits sand, but whatever. If this thing is marketed towards hikers and campers, it should be able to take a drop on a rock or, you know, a fall out of the back of a truck here and there and not explode. So of course, we made sure to test that. Started by just literally throwing this thing in the backyard, the same way they did in their video, just to recreate that action. Whipped it into the lawn. It did actually scratch the screen up pretty good on this one. It's kind of hard to see in the lighting, but just hitting dead grass, it's never gonna look the same. But it didn't break, which was nice. And then we also simulated some drop tests out of the back of a truck. I feel like that's a really realistic scenario. You put this on the tailgate, you're grabbing something out of the truck, and as you pull it out, you accidentally send this off the edge. And surprisingly, over the course of the 3 different drop tests that we did with it, it lived on every single one. The first 2 were pretty gentle. The last one was pretty extreme. We sent it like right down the driveway across the sidewalk, and nothing broke anytime, which we were actually pretty surprised at. We thought we were gonna blow these things up. The other thing that we really like about these units is that DC is the best way to use a traditional power station, one that has AC plugs and DC plugs. Anytime you run DC, you don't have a power loss from the inverter changing it from the DC battery to the AC plug. Point is, DC is very efficient. And so these things, we left them on a 24-hour idle test, and it basically consumed 2 watts over the course of 24 hours, just being on like it is right now, just sitting there with power to the plugs, but nobody using it, which means that if you accidentally left this thing on, it would last 144 days. If you leave it on, it's really not gonna consume too much of its own power. It does shut itself off after like 12 hours or something, and there's no app to go in there and renew that. But if you were to just plug your phone in, take it out, and leave it on during the 12 hours before it shuts itself off, it won't use a ton of power. The first thing that we don't like about this new Trail series actually has nothing to do with either of these units, but we noticed that the Plus version that they have coming out actually has a really dated battery chemistry in it. I think they did this to make it a little bit lighter. It has more features, more plugs, big light, but it weighs less than the 300. So they probably put the older battery chemistry in that new unit to make it a little bit lighter and easier to carry around. But in doing so, you're spending more money to get it, and it's gonna last you a lot less. So Life PO4 batteries are typically the cells that we would recommend using. Almost every power station uses them in 2025. They're safer, and they have a way longer life expectancy. So something like this has a 3,500 cycles until the battery health is about 80%. The NCM batteries are typically like 500 to 800 cycles until the battery health is at 80%. You get much more bang for your buck in terms of battery with this kind of battery. So if you guys are interested in these units, I would actually personally recommend that you go with one of these 2. I don't think I would be able to justify spending the extra on the new one with the dated batteries. We also don't like that there's no light on this guy. I get that it's an upsell to go to the Plus, but it is kind of stupid. You have a couple small units, it would be easy to just throw lights on all of them, especially something portable like this. It would be a really nice feature. It's too bad EcoFlow isn't putting more lights on their power stations. Something else really weird with these is that in the box, you get nothing. You don't get a charging brick, you don't get a USB cord, you get literally this unit. It's weird. I don't think we've ever had a power station show up without a way to charge it.
It should just come with a cord in the first place.
Yeah! And the final thing that we already kind of mentioned with both of these is they don't connect to EcoFlow's app. That's a feature that's reserved for their new Plus that's coming out. Not a big deal. It's not like you would really need to turn anything on or off from a distance. The button on this is only for the 12-volt car socket. The USBs are just on by default. This one has no button, just turning it on and off is all you can do. So it's not like the app would be super useful, but forcing it to be able to take a charge at 140 watts. Just a couple extra little bonus features that they usually hide in the app. It would be cool to access those. These units just don't have access to that.
You can see what your power's at from afar.
You could totally see where your power's at from afar. At the end of the day, these things performed better than we expected them, and we actually really enjoy these new little DC units. We'll obviously get our hands on the big one whenever they actually release it, and we want to put this thing head to head with Anker's C300 DC option. But right now, if you guys or any of our friends asked, we would actually recommend grabbing one of these. We think they're pretty solid units, and if they suit your needs, they're pretty good. So like I said, we will leave links in the description down below, as well as coupon codes towards these units. Otherwise, that's all we got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out and stay charged.